Welcome. In front of me I have the iPhone 16 Plus, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks for this phone. Now before I get started, I do want to kind of point out I'm not daily driver of iPhones, so what I found here might be smaller sample size than some other people, and additionally I specifically want to focus on things that I find very useful, so I'm gonna skip some things that, for instance, don't really concern me that much. But in any case, let's just get started with the flashlight option. As I tend to use flashlight quite often, there's some changes to it. So if you pull down your control center and click on the flashlight, you get this pop-up right here, and it allows you to do a couple of things with it. Number one, you can change it from like diffuse to, come on, which one is it? Hello, can you like do it? So we have the brightness, or we don't have a diffusion right here. Yeah, it looks like we actually might not have a diffusion here. So that's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, we can change the brightness apparently only. Yikes! So that's a bit of a... didn't check that before. But just to kind of demonstrate it, how it would normally look like on the, for instance, Pro or Pro Max, depending, both of them work, as I have tested those. So you have the flashlight, and you can actually change it from like a more of a beam to a more diffused, and same thing, brightness changes here are available as well. But here it looks like we can only change the brightness. So that's a bit of a shame here. Kind of hoped for that option. But in any case, let's move over to customization of your home screen. So if you hold your finger on the empty space on the home screen, you can start jiggling, and now you can go to the edit section and select customize. And here you can see we have a couple things like the light and dark mode, which can toggle on quickly, automatic one as well, or have the tinted option, which is the way that you can actually just change the color of all the icons. So it looks like it by default try to mimic the wallpaper, but I can do it obviously myself, so I'm just going to kind of slide to go to this, make it a bit more vibrant, and there we go. You can see that it's now changed. I can also change the icon size right here from small to large and vice versa. I do like it small, so that's what we're gonna select, and there we go. It's still a far cry from what you can do on Android with the actual like icon packs and stuff like that, and even what you can do on iPhones with a jailbroken iPhone, though that's kind of been completely removed by Apple because Apple doesn't want you to have better options. So yeah, you're kind of stuck with this half-assed customization section, but it's still better than nothing, I would say. So now moving on to the next option, going back to the control center. If we pull it down, you can see that there has been some changes. So number one, to edit the toggles, you won't find the control center section in the settings, because you can now edit it from here by holding your finger and then selecting add a control and just finding one that you want to add from the list. Additionally, you also have some other options. So we have things like the favorite, we have also music right here, controls, and we have some other things like airplane modes, airdrop, Wi-Fi, and other stuff, which is visible right here for the most part. But if you want to have, so maybe the page clear or whatever, you can access it here separately. Now continuing on, we also have the new action button, or not action, but the camera button. So flashlight is still on. There we go. So yeah, we have this button right here for the camera, and this has multiple different things that it can do. So number one, we can just press it. So this is a normal actual press. I was kind of curious if this is a haptic feedback or not, but I think when you press it all the way, it's just a normal button press. And the reason that matters is because obviously pressing it all the way captures a photo, but if you press it lightly before the actual press of the button, you get haptic feedback. So it's a very subtle one. You can see every time that happens, this little thing just kind of like expands just a little bit. And this has a couple options, so you can obviously utilize that to zoom in and out. Additionally, you can also double press it, and this changes to, for instance, give you access to things like the exposure, depth, zoom, camera, styles and tones. One new option right here is the styles, or well, technically everything here is new, but the styles option in general is new to camera. And in here, once you don't do anything, it gets selected. So now I can kind of flip through the different styles. So we have also a couple ones, like we have cool rose, natural, rose gold, gold, amber, standard, vibrant, natural, which I'm pretty sure I already seen natural, or I misread it, luminous, and a dramatic, and quiet. So yeah, there is plenty of them, as you can see. Not gonna go through all of those, but now with that being shown, let me just kind of select one that actually has some kind of, there we go, difference in the way it looks like. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate it. Let's bring the keyboard into view right here, as it is pretty colorful. So good example for this. So now we have this filter, because that's basically what it is, enabled, and I can click right here on this kind of grid looking thing, and what I can do is make it either brighter or dimmer. So basically kind of like an exposure. I don't think it works exactly like exposure. And then also make it more dull, so it's more towards like desaturated grayish tones to bluish tones. So you can see how that works. And obviously different filters have different effects on them, and you can edit them differently. So pretty neat option right here for the camera. And moving on into another option, it will be the action button, this one here. So before we used to have a switch which would allow you to enable the silent mode. Now it's a button that you hold to enable the silent mode, as you can see. I just enable ring, silent, back to ring. And there's a nice haptic feedback when it actually switches between those. But you can actually edit this button. So what we can do is navigate into the settings right here, and we're gonna select action button. And here we have different things that I can assign to it. So we have silent mode, which is the default one, focus, camera, which defeats the purpose as we do have a dedicated camera button anyway, flashlight, voice memos, Shazam, which would be one of the ones that I really like, that, and also the flashlight. And then we have translate, which is a fantastic option for instance, when you go to some other country that you don't speak the language of, you can just whip that out, quick action button, and you can now translate on the go. Magnification and controls, along with shortcuts. And here you can select specific applications to be opened by the button, which again gives you more versatility, which is really nice considering that Apple tends to just kind of not give you options. The option is that you don't have options. So this is unlike Apple giving you the options. We also have accessibility right here, and you can disable the button altogether by just having no action assigned to it. So let's just select things like Shazam. And there we go. So now whenever I press the button, it will launch Shazam, and you can see it right here. So you do need to hold it still, and it starts to listen, and will try to find a song that you're trying to know the name of. Now, last thing that I want to showcase will be the nicest and probably one of the best features that Apple has implemented. And for me to say that it almost feels weird saying it. But I'm actually not traditionally, I am an Android user for the most part. So having something that actually Apple has done that I find to be very unique and nice is, to me, a bit surprising. So let's open up our Safari. And in here, you will find this weird icon next to your search bar. So this will allow you to hide ads and just in general get rid of annoying crap on every website. Everyone wants to monetize their shitty websites now. So what you can do is just completely get rid of it, which is just astonishingly fantastic option. And it's one of those options that I also, I think Microsoft is kind of doing, with allowing you to enter a website and then have a summarized version of the article, which obviously, if you ever tried to read nowadays articles, they are followed by like name the clickbaity name of the article, followed by 5 paragraphs of bullshit that you don't care, followed by a single paragraph of useless information, or the information that you're looking for that is absolutely effing useless because it's just clickbaity to begin with. So to give you an example, you usually have bullshit like looking, for instance, when a show gets released, and it's like just title of that whatever show will get a whatever release on a DVD or Blu-ray on some day, and then you go in there and you have bullshit 5 paragraphs about the whatever you're looking for movie and what it is that you don't really care because you care about specific release date, just so you can get to find that article where it just says, yeah, there is no release date yet. Thanks for wasting your time. So that is also a fantastic option that you can utilize, but like I said, I think that's Microsoft that is doing that, and that might be probably just kind of killed off, as it just gets rid of ads, and any kind of website that is trying to thrive on ads and bullshit clickbaits will be completely killed off by this, which honestly I won't be shedding a tear for that. But this allows you to do something similar but different. So let me now showcase this. I'm gonna navigate to HardReset website, as it's not a very user-friendly website. It contains a lot of ads. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't create it either. So let's go HardReset, and right off the bat you're smacked with the privacy and transparency bullshit. No one likes to see this. No one likes to agree to give away their data. Now we don't have to. I'm gonna click on this little button right here. We're gonna then select hide distracting items, and we're gonna then tunnel snap that shit out of existence. Boom, voila, no more need to agree to any kind of crap. Fantastic. Then we can scroll down. Without agreeing to it on HardReset, it won't load the ads, which is actually pretty nice in itself. But it has these like 3 dots trying to load it. So I can again go in here. I'm gonna then select again hide distracting crap. Hide, select this. Boom, tunnel snapped out of existence. Now it looks, there is also another one which we can't see because it didn't load, but it's right here. Once you select it, you can see. And this one is the one that always follows you at the bottom of the page and just constricting your full view of the screen. Absolutely annoying ad. Tunnel snapped out of existence. No longer gets annoying. So we can do this, and then furthermore, once you have done this, the phone will remember this from what I've seen, because I did check it briefly. So yeah, any opt-out ad that you have gotten rid of, it won't come back, which is just freaking fantastic. It's one of the best things you can actually do right here. And even more, if you don't care about things like images on the website and you're just looking to read something and you want to have a clean look to whatever you're gonna read, again, we're gonna click on that button right here, show reader, and it just gets rid of everything and only retains the text that is part of the website itself and not the ads. The ads don't get anything to say right here, so they're completely removed. And you can see out of all this scrollable text that we had right there and a bunch of different trash, this is just a page of text that you have right here. And I can turn that off. And you can kind of see that we do have quite a lot of content right here, but for instance, things like the links to phones and stuff like that, you're not going to be interested in this. You're also not going to be interested at the things that redirect you right here at the bottom. So yeah, allows you to just completely get rid of all that clutter, all that trash, and have what you're looking for, which in this case is just kind of description of the website. So this might not be the greatest showcase, but if you're looking at some articles and you want to read something a little bit more in depth, obviously this will be a fantastic option. So anyway, this would conclude the tweaks and the tricks that I want to show you. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.